You know, the Senna was. I feel like Supa did kind of troll the Senna a little bit. He didn't have the greatest positioning, and he gave up some deaths that he definitely shouldn't have. But they're going to go ahead and ban it anyway. They're trading it for Zaya Rakan. Now we're going to have Varus, Brand, and Renata Glask.
Will get his hands on Brand. To me, for Vitality to leave the Brand, they must have an answer for it. Sure. For stuff
the answer is Rel, apparently, to Brand. You know, I think the most effective way to deal with Brand is to be able to actually slow him down in the early game. Because if you're just opting into farming up, the Brand becomes incredibly overpowering. Okay, they're banning TF and Tristana as AD champions because they think they're going to go for an AD mid laner. This is a big option, though. So the Zaya mid, if you don't have Tristana, we actually talked about this as a possibility in the Cloud9 game that they lost with the Vayne mid, having a Zaya mid or a Tristana mid. I'm sorry, Kai'Sa, not Zaya. Kai'Sa, I'm brain farting, guys. Kai'Sa mid. Provides mixed AD and AP damage, but build her into AD and have a strong mid laner.
They're all on Brand, though. This is likely going to be a... on Brand, haha. They're all going to be...
So, big-time long-range poke composition. Poke with Zaya to a certain degree. Probably lethality, double lethality on Varus and Jace, because there's not really a tank on the other side. All right, Photon.
I actually love this. This is a very potentially 1-3-1 position coming from Vitality.
All right, pretty wacky, though. Yeah, Trouble's right. I think having the 1-3-1 here, you know, it will be an AP LeBlanc in this composition, but huge pick potential. Huge pick potential from this side. But a lot less poke. This is about split pushing and creating picks, and this is about poke around objectives.
See if Mad Lions Co can advance to the next round.
I was like, murder them.
And then you're good. You're out. You know what I mean? You're half of the conundrum. All right, here we go. Level 1, line of scrimmage. 5 members top. If you've been playing Earth recently, you'll recognize that sequence of play coming in. But the challenge has been refused. Neither side finding their respective opponents for their 5v5 1v1.
I love the attempt at the top lane cheese again.
5v5 1v1 does not make any sense.
That'll be sick, though. Could you imagine watching the Renata versus Rakan?
You just walk up and you take turns, form a circle, start a fight club.
I don't like the Mad Lions comp. Looks hard to execute. I mean, Vitality is just full of squishy champions, right? Vitality definitely, I think, you know, you can collapse onto one of the side lanes pretty easily and get picks, and it has a huge amount of mobility, right? Huge amount of mobility in your solo lanes. So Mad Lions just has to be careful that they're not going to get caught out alone. But if they start getting prio on objectives, if they're the first mover at Drake or at Baron, like, the poke is absolutely huge.
This lane is impossible. The same is, however, true for Mirwin. While he will have the luxury of falling back on Jace poke, perhaps Photon will just not let him play the game, which so far is the story. His controller has been unplugged. His little brother says, nah, don't worry, you are playing the game. But he's not.
Yeah, really good, really interesting early trading in level 1 there from Photon.
I mean, a lot of trading very heavily. I mean, Photon, nice job to get the level.
Zaya range might be kind of an issue this game, but I don't think you're actually playing for any kind of actual objectives here if you're Vitality. You're playing around side lane pressure.
Look at where Douglas is on the map. It looks like he might be going for a topside play instead of actually moving down towards that bottom half of the map. So maybe looking for something sneaky.
Yeah, it's interesting too because VTO was really the mid Kai'Sa players. You know, I would expect that out of him, not necessarily out of Frescovi, just based on the history of VTO. I don't know what Frescovi was playing in ERLs though, so I could be wrong about that. But certainly VTO, one of the more iconic mid Kai'Sa players in LEC.
To approach the wave anymore. Elyoya here to cover, though, is big. Now a 2v2 topside. Elyoya going to back away here. Photon going to wander through it now.
Yes, this is really good, guys. Very, very good early pressure onto Brand. That makes a big difference in slowing down Brand's growth in the game. And now we're going to invade the jungle. So this is all really going really well for Vitality so far. It's a great early game plan into the Brand. They were definitely ready for this. I mean, there were questions like, oh, you give Elyoya the Brand, what are you going to do? I actually think that Elyoya on Brand is not ideal for Mad Lions because it doesn't allow him, unless his lanes are winning, it doesn't allow him to play aggressively in terms of counter jungling or invading. And he's been most effective when it comes to kind of skirmishing early and actually ganking overextended lanes like we saw in the last game.
I think a lot of this is just to try and, I was going to say get control of the wave. Nice job from Hitty to burn the flash there. So as long as they can keep pressure on this bot side, you can see that Elyoya is already on the Grump. Douglas going to try and steal, did smite, but I'm not sure if he got them. I didn't see there.
Alrighty. Douglas. Wandering in again, just fishing for these setups, looking for the angle into the bot side of the maps. Got to
Hitty to burn the flash there. So as long as they can keep pressure on this bot side, you can see that Elyoya is already on the Grump. Douglas going to try and steal, did smite, but I'm not sure if he got them. I didn't see there.
Alrighty. Douglas. However.
I think that's where, I think that's a bit of a BM, but I think it's about the fact that, like, you have the opportunity there to burn the flash on towards Super means you've got the setup you can look for. Douglas, well, will have the flash that he can try and look for, which would be wonderful, but...
You know, I think one of the dangers in this game, too, is if you're playing against Vitality and you kill their entire team. So let's say you have some really big burst from Renata ult, from Brand ult, setting up after poke. If Akshan gets kills, he can actually just res his whole team. And these guys are all so squishy that the Akshan cleanup into res could be fucking devastating this game. You know, if this goes late, the Akshan res could be absolutely enormous.
Is he going to drop camps here to try and get up there?
Which league looks better, LCS or LEC? LEC top half does look better. LCS is maybe better throughout all teams in the league, but man, you watch some of those games like 100 Thieves into Cloud9, you're just like, ugh, gross. And FlyQuest also has some pretty big whoopsie moments. I mean, Mad Lions is probably a better team than any team in LCS, honestly. Flashes the engage from Hylissang.
TP committed to the top side here, but Mirwan gives up his flash. That's TP from Frescowy.
Okay, so nice TP advantage.
Mad Lions coy to weather the storm there, but isn't going to hurt too much for Vitality at all.
Douglas can't stick around here. There he goes, crash down over the wall. So, Frescowy having the level 6 and also with Alvaro here, you do have to be careful of just the all-in potential that could come through, but they're just going to end up backing away. Nicely done there by Mirwan to survive that, because that was a lot of pressure.
100 Thieves C9 was entertaining for fans. Dude, that game was... 100 Thieves has, like, negative macro.
Mirwan able to survive a huge amount of that. So, will actually be Douglas now going back towards the Void Grubs, trying to pick it up, but on the bottom lane.
He's getting run down here. Flash in. Excellent setup now coming in from Karzi. Trade back from Zuba. Big damage. Hail and Blades. He just maths better.
On the bottom lane.
He's getting run down here. Flash in. Excellent setup now coming in from Karzi. Trade back from Zuba. Big damage.
Man, that sucks. If the full charge Q doesn't hit here, Karzi easily wins this, but Supa, he's just right on top of Supa. Yeah, it flashes on top of him to pull all the feathers in to the center, right? You know, he's got all these feathers from here in this arc, so he ults in, or he flashes in, pulls all his feathers in. Here we go. He channels Q immediately after the root stops ending. Karzi is trying to dodge this desperately, but he can't do it. And Supa still has E up. Also, crazy that Supa didn't use heal there.
just
Yeah.
like, I don't care. Show me what you got, Super. That was steel. That man was not worried in the slightest on that play.
Damn. Can we get it again? Can we one more time?
For the people in the back.
For the people in the what? Yeah, here we go. Okay. What? Okay, so auto, 1 stack, 2 stack. 3
Brock's
stack,
third stack.
Full charge melee range kill. Just Varus damage. There's nothing fancy. This man, this like furious bird woman is clawing his eyes out. He's like, all right, well, there's 1, and then there's like 2, and then there's like 3, and he just boom.
But that was the thing. I think with the way that Super was positioning, you only got 3 of the pullback feathers from Karzi, so didn't actually get a huge amount of the damage off that up front. And I think that's why Super was like, cool, I'm just going to go aggressive on this, because after that, you don't have a huge amount left in the tank. It's just pure auto attack. So nicely done there by Super.
Which, yeah, I mean, to be fair, I would have expected that Karzi would win, but he only has the Noon Quiver, which to the time was versus the Serrated Dirk. And just a reminder of why Varus is such a high priority to pick. One of the viable builds with him is this lethality build. And you hit so damn hard. Usually I'm watching, you know, the fadeaway arrows, not the melee range 3-stack empowered blighted quiver piercing arrow.
Yeah, it does a lot. When you get those blighted stacks, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Plus as well, like, the fact you get your rotation up quicker as well, so for every blight stack you get cooldown on your abilities. Like, it's such a nice feedback loop on those abilities. So
Yeah,
nice done
Varus.
by Super.
Great. You know, Varus to me is...
So Elyoya is 6 now, so he has had a pretty substantial jungle lead. I mean, Brand is just going to farm significantly faster than the Rel is.
And now it's pretty impossible for Karzi to do anything. He burned his flash, but BTO now going in. Mirwin, again, being bullied. This is comeuppance, but it doesn't feel fair. The name doesn't feel fair. Frescowie isolated off to the side. Elio, you're not going to be able to find much. So as good as bot lane is going, as much as Super was just outplaying individually 1v1, Operation Make Mirwin's life miserable so far has been successful. That's a 1k gold lead. Mirwin's back, but so is Daglet. That's a Q flash into an ult. More damage now coming in. Akshan throwing down. Mirwin desperate to get a kill back. One last tower shot not going to come in. Photon can't overextend here. He's just instantly going to flash out. He gets another. Frescowie on the way up. Is he willing to ult in? He is. Trying to follow it up, but the stun is there. VTO going to go in to try to get the damage down. Roots now coming through. Photon does a lot of work here. Red buff for Elyoya. How much damage can the Brand do? Yep. Is he willing to ult in? He is. Trying to follow it up, but the stun is there. VTO going to go in to try to get the damage down. Roots now coming through. Photon does a lot of work here. Red buff for Elyoya. How much damage can the Brand do? Trying to get away. Passive ticking away. The Blaze not quite enough to finish him. Elyoya now going to be in trouble. BTO playing on the edge here. That's 1 quick kill. Frescowie running. W. Ooh. Trying to get away. Ult in. He is. Trying to follow it up, but the stun is there. BTO going to go in to try to get the damage down. Roots now coming through. Photon does a lot of work here.
Oh, it's so close.
How much damage can the Brand do? Trying to get away. Passive ticking away. The Blaze not quite enough to finish him. Elyoya now going to be in trouble. BTO playing on the edge here. That's 1 quick kill. Frescowie running. W. Ooh.
I made Lollipop be his hero. Oh my god.
What happened between game 1 and game 2?
Yes.
Clearly they identified going to bot was the problem. Going top is working fantastically. Supa just continuing to throw down damage. Hylissang's dead. That looks more like game 1.
And he still has heal. So Super still going to be fine off the back of that. So again, bot lane, Super.
I think that's appropriate as well. We'll deal with that after this match.
He tries to stay in the creep line here, but just barely pushes forward, so ends up taking a little bit more damage.
Akshan actually looking very good in this matchup.
And then, what are you going to do here? Dagler's already in position. Elyoya just wasn't quite there. Frescowie's trying to move up here to get the follow-up, but just a bit slow on the play. And then, again, you go in hyper aggressive here. Daglis, good turnaround, has the shield. Or doesn't get the shield, sorry, because it's the, whatever it is, knock up. So you're able to get out of that. And then Elyoya tries to get the kill onto Photon, but Photon just ends up waiting it out, doesn't end up dying. And then the AP LeBlanc here, getting work here with the spell.
Yep.
And look, I mean, I gotta see how much health Daglis has. Like, that looks like nothing. But here we go on picture-in-picture.
Picture-in-picture, Hylissang again committing for the fight. VTO getting chunked out there. Mirwin now looking to knock back here. Desperate to get away.
Oh, nice. Nice knockback.
You're on your lonesome, you're not. Hylissang again committing for the fight. VTO getting chunked out
Nice
there.
knockback on the
Mirwin
swing.
now looking to knock back here. Desperate to get a 1v1 back. Oh!
Ooh.
Now that you're on your lonesome, you're not so tough. Mirwin, unfazed, I take it back. He did not give a damn. He does not mind being bullied and shut down. Still a massive lead for Photon. But nice turnaround on that play for Mirwin.
And Super now, trying to finish with Oyoya. Was trying to see if you could get the ultimate there, but now Carzy kind of left on his own. So a lot of this here is going to be trying to get pop push in towards Dragon. But if Vitality trying to pressure Fresco in the mid lane so then they can try and...
Body blocked it, yeah.
Both teams just backing away here. Nobody really feeling comfortable to immediately start, although as I say that...
I'm not sure it works as a Twitch emote.
Win, as you highlighted, Supa, good bit of poke on the Carzy. Carzy's going to have a tough time staying here. Might be
7TV, at least you can hover over it and it makes it bigger.
I think Vitality should be okay. Look at where Video's position. Good ward there from Alvaro to try and spot that out. Level 6 not hit by Alvaro yet is actually a pretty big win for Vitality. So I think they're just trying to...
You know, I don't think it works as a Twitch emote. Because it's you can't see the detail.
Definitely are. Vitality first setup, and of course, when Photon is there, it's hard to walk up. You know, Blade of the Rune King, it's not the burstiest item in the game, but if you come in and you fail your engage at all, Akshan will take over a fight, and just clean play from Mirwin. Jump over, knock back into the tower, body block to stop, you know, the swing. Action hero escape, the heroic swing. And that 500 gold shutdown, big. Look at him! How can you not love him? Oh, I respect to Photon for getting that lead, but respect to Mirwin for finding it back. Alt flash back to safety. Super gonna follow up with an ult of his own. That should just be one dead jungler. Now trying to follow up on Carzy as well. Carzy laying down the feathers, but nothing to come from it. Mad Lions Koi still holding on to a 1K gold lead.
And in the grand scheme of things, look, Photon, yes, he has a lead in topside, but it's not pretty much to right home. Carzy about to die on box.
Okay, feathers are gonna fly. Carzy's gonna go right back down, and I don't think there's really anything he could do here.
Hellsang?
Going to come and try to save him, but might just set up for 2 deaths there. Alvaro still standing for a brief moment. VTO now dashing out to safety. Chains fully connecting. Come up, it's coming in, but not finishing the job. Photon getting the extra movement speed from the Blade of the Rune King. Going invisible. This happened to me once. Lore stole a Kit Kat. Now Photon going in, looking to steal a little bit more than that. VTO already finding a kill. That's a shutdown.
Photon going in on this.
Still fishing.
Yeah, force flash. Oh, nice by Hellsang. Yes, Photon, do it. Hell yeah. You love to see it. Akshan's such a fun champion. I don't want to see him in every game, but he's fun occasionally.
I mean, you want to be able to try and find these early skirmishes with Video, so you're trying to play for this, which they've successfully done on Vitality, so Video is huge. But you've also got like, okay, let's try and get Photon in. Let's see if we can try and use that invisibility to get some plays. But as Mad Lions Koi, if you try to make a fight happen and it doesn't work out, you're so squishy. You've so little when it comes to like opportunities for cooldowns to come back up that you're able to turn around. So Alvaro, this ultimate needs to be massive when it gets these fights, and unfortunately here, it only connects onto Nactus. And now that is your only tool to stop some of the engage that comes through. Now look, don't get me wrong, I think this was a good play. I think Mad Lions Koi, if you kind of just called it here, should have been fine. You push in, you look for the tower, look for more plates, but trying to keep Carzy out of commission here doesn't quite end up working out. Thanks to that nice ultimate for Scowy, doesn't feel comfortable go in, but now he's underneath the tower.
TP coming in too.
You've kind of used everything with Photon coming down as well. There's just more members of Vitality in the picture to make sure they're able to chase you down slowly but sure.
Yep. You see the picture as well.
Nice flash from Carzy.
Pressure on top side coming in, and
Yeah, chase down is so good.
Before the shutdown, he's even stronger now. He's got about a
With the action and the LeBlanc as well.
Once you fall behind in a play, for either of these teams, to be honest with you, the chase potential of these lineups is a
Yeah, the chase is so good. I mean, the chase isn't as good on the side of Mad Lions. I mean, they have acceleration gate and they have the ultimate from Kaisa, but it's definitely a lot better on Vitality.
And then as well, like I'm surprised kind of not to see some early threads coming through here to try and help you out in that regard, but honestly, I think Video at this stage is just going to be too big of a threat now from Mad Lions Koi, even though you got this early aggression for Supa. Trying to contest on towards objectives with the amount of side lane control Video has is going to make it very hard, as long as the rest of Vitality play it safe.
And the big thing in here is that your counter pick into the LeBlanc mid lane, while it hasn't fared that well, we've seen that it can be good. But you put yourself in a position now where you're playing against the LeBlanc with no reliable hard CC. as long as LeBlanc has one distortion up at all times, no one on this team can lock her down ever, right? And that makes her a very terrifying prospect to try and deal with. And as long as LeBlanc has one distortion in game state, she just would have been an annoyance. But at 4-0 and 1, VTO is impossible to deal with unless you just outplay him, unless you just
Actually super surprised that Vitality lose. This seems like you can just play side lanes forever at this point in time.
A lot of this threat now from Vitality, like bringing VTO into these moments where here you can pop over a wall.
Mid turret should be gone. I mean, you've got 6. You have. I mean, this is such a good scenario for Vitality. You literally have 6 Void Grubs, so you have the double Voidling buff, and you have incredible leads in your side lanes in order to push this forward. You got the first Drake, so you don't have to worry about Drake stacking. You literally don't have to opt into Drake fights.
The gold is very close. The big thing to keep in mind here is that VTO on the LeBlanc is a much easier champion to kind of build leads and to extend leads with than I think Supa on this Varus is going to be, just because of how many champions.
This throw must be actually insane. Like, the gold lead, you look at this gold lead and you're like, okay, but what is the Varus going to do with the gold lead? Like, Vitality can literally just dance around the entire map forever. Are they going to go up 2 Drakes as well? It's ridiculous.
Everyone's been put so far behind. You saw the super focused effort to put him down in the dirt. Of course, he brought some of that back, but it's just a tricky game for Mad Lions Koi to navigate now. They can't afford to pick any more bad fights. It's 2 Drakes for Vitality, 6, of course, with the Grub buff as well, and Vitality set up now. Take over more and more of the map as they'll knock down the spot lane tower pretty effortlessly.
Kind of surprised to see the Profane Hydra here for mirroring in the top side, just to help with added like wave clear and stuff. But traditionally, you see like the Yomus and Opportunity, and you go for that full poke build. So, I mean, you will get a little bit of like pushing power, as you can see here, which helps out. And I think that's a lot of the idea here against Photon. But yeah, just interesting.
I think Merwin needs the pushing power, though. That's the thing. Because otherwise, they'll never be able to answer side lane pressure.
Actually, under the health threshold, it does do a lot of damage. And of course, the all-in burst of Jace on a flank late game isn't the bigger portion of what people think about. People mostly think about empowered shock blasts. So it is odd. I see what you're saying, because you have to be in melee range, right, to get the Hydra active.
I think it's against Photon, right? It's like, hey, I can potentially one-shot you if I find you. Oh yeah, it doesn't find him as Photon manages to skedaddle, but yeah, I think that's probably where a lot of that is coming from, like push plus one-shot potential.
Split pushing is sort of dead for AD LeBlanc. I mean, it's not. Split pushing is not dead at the professional level. Absolutely not, especially with Void Grubs in the game. If you get 6 like you see at Vitality, split pushing should be very much an option. The reason why you don't go AD LeBlanc in this game is because you need AP damage, because you have a Xayah and you have an Akshan, right? I still think AD LeBlanc is fine. It's not as good as it was earlier, at the start of this year, but it's still okay. Generally, these days, with the changes, though, I prefer the AP. And you absolutely have to do the AP in this composition.
Yeah. He's gonna be like, oh, nah, guys, it's fine. I built Triforce and Hullbreaker still, and it's not as good. I go 0-9 and I split push, and I've learned from the boss and make it work. It's fine, guys. We're not traumatized. Goldberg is slow. Shit on it. You can check his solo queue history and make your own judgments.
They're probably not going to be favorable.
Well, no, I mean, we're just making assumptions here, Rob. We shouldn't impart our biases onto the audience. Maybe they really like Goldberg's feed for success Shyvana strategy. The opposing top laners definitely do. All right. We're almost 20 minutes. Baron, of course, going to be on the table. The big thing for both of these lineups is that there isn't necessarily the best, really beefy frontliner. The good news for Vitality is they do have Daglas, the tankiest person in this entire game. So someone can eat at least a little bit of Baron damage, but while both sides will burst Baron down incredibly quickly, they're going to be very vulnerable in the process.
I think a lot of this is going to come down to like how you manage your side waves.
It's an interesting game because it's one of the rare games that we see with like just one tank in it. And we see an assassin like side laning team composition versus a poke comp. So nobody can really afford to get hit by anything. And it is a battle of win conditions, whether Vitality gets side lane control or whether Mad Lions can actually group on objectives.
There's nobody pressuring that bot wave, so there is definitely a 5-man stack here for Vitality. And you see Mad Lions kind of reading this correctly, but do need to back it on up just a smidge and let Jace clear at that top side.
Yeah. And it's really hard because, again, VTO on his own is so difficult to match. The unknown element of Photon makes it so tricky.
On a good flank position here. I don't know though, again, I think you're better off trying to push mid with Carzzy here and actually keep VTO on the side lane, because as long as you can keep a lot of threat up, you can actually shift Hilly into the jungle with Douglas, and then you've got the opportunity for like VTO to pop over wall, one shot, try and play off that, push out Madeline's Koi, has to go and push out bot wave, which means then top side of the map needs to reset because they can't be overextended with Madeline's Koi having top side pressure.
Now, surely we should not be playing for Chemtech Soul if we're Vitality, right? We shouldn't care about Chemtech at all. We should not care about Chemtech at all. We should be caring about side wave pressure and doing cross-map objective control.
In the mid game, get mid push, Baron vision, enemy team does the same, they clear your vision, you kind of just
We do not care about Chemtech, right?
play more aggressively around these objectives, or maybe they just
We already got the 2 Drakes. That's all we need. We do not want to fight the poke composition for 4 straight Chemtech Drakes. We don't care. We do not care about Chemtech Soul.
But also it's like no factors, because if you try to face check a lot of what Vitality have, not the best of times, right? But if you can sit at the back of the pit and just free fire with all this poke, you're going to be in a great spot. So I think it's kind of like Madeline's Koi taking it somewhat.
I mean, if you get it for free, then fine. If you get it for free, then fine.
All right, blue trinket our way through to make sure we're going to be safe. But
Yep.
Vitality have already
Okay, it's
worked
free.
this out. It looks like
It's fine if you get it for
Madeline's
free.
go
We
to
do not
the
fight
edge
for
so
it.
they move their vision towards the top side and try and fish for Baron opportunities.
would be an aggressive call, but Mad Lions Koi love aggressive calls. People trying to clear the wave as quickly as possible with the piercing arrow. Generally favored over Carzzy when it comes to wave clear, just because of usually having first access. But Hylissang now going to try to kick the fight off. Supa locked up, but that was not it. Supa's going to punish him for it. Goodbye, Hilly. Now VTO can come over the wall, but they're investing in a lost play. Vitality over. That was not over Carzzy when it comes to wave clear, just because of usually having first access.
Why? This isn't our win condition, guys. This isn't our win condition. We don't have Akshan here. We want to collapse on the side lanes when we have advantages. We do not want to just walk into them and get Chain of Corruption and die. Okay.
Now VTO can come over the wall, but they're investing.
I mean, what is VTO doing? Like, he shouldn't be. He should not be using Flash right there.
It's getting less crazy, Dagda.
As long as this poke lands, yeah, 100%. VTO will have the TP to come back in, though. So again, I think you play off this frontline vision as Vitality try to clear it. Oh, where is
over
this?
the wall, immediate stun. That's
Oh
one
my
squishy
God.
Man, easy target. Ezio Auditore just gone.
They're mom spaghettiing this.
Mad Lions Koi now just
Their knees weak and arms are heavy from Hylissang dying, and they're so nervous about this Baron.
How much damage can she get down? Vitality waiting, hovering around the edge here. Merwin just trying to keep eyes on Douglas. Maybe hoping for the pit. 4K getting lower. Mad Lions Koi, are they willing to go for the 50?
All right, Douglas engaging this is huge.
Flash not going to connect. Now getting knocked back to the pit. It's getting lower and lower. VTO going in. He just burst down enemy mid laner. Boris Q going to try to finish the job off. Baron secured by the side of Mad Lions Koi. 50 here. Douglas committing. Q Flash not going to
There's
connect.
just no follow-up.
Getting lower and lower. VTO going in. He just burst down enemy mid laner. Boris
So there's Douglas's smite at 1600.
Q going to try to finish.
Thank you. Or Luge for your Twitch Prime sub. Douglas's smite at 1600. I'm not sure Ilya even smote that. He didn't. He didn't even smite.
Committing. Q Flash not going to connect. Now getting knocked back to the pit. It's getting lower and lower. VTO going in. He just burst down enemy mid laner. Boris Q.
He doesn't even.
Going to try to finish the job off. Baron secured by the side of Mad Lions
Doesn't even
Koi.
smite, guys.
Managed to get one, but Carzzy now backstepping. Ooh, feathers.
Yep, he missed the Q flash, so he loses his ability to Q smite the Baron. Yep. But you have to Q flash there on the engage. I think you can't save it for the steal.
On the way in, Photon going invisible. If he kills Mirror, he'll get his teammates back. Now he's trying to kill Supa, but the body block should just come in. Not that much damage.
I don't. Brian Luke Shaw.
Fizzle, nothing else left on the
Thoughts on
map.
Hilly making the same mistakes, not learning for 5+ years of his career. We cannot take away that Hylissang has been an incredibly good support at times, guys. Yes, he's very aggressive. Yes, he goes in. But sometimes he just has fucking brilliant games. And he's one of the most legendary supports in LEC for a reason, guys. You know, this is one of his fallow periods. Maybe he is washed, but he's had times before where he's looked absolutely terrible and then gotten really good again. Like, he hasn't been bad this game, guys. He really hasn't. Like, the reason they got Baron was because he made that mistake, but he's also had some really good plays this game. It didn't make up for this horrible play, which probably lost them the game. No. But otherwise, he hasn't been that bad.
So you end up with Douglas overextended. He's trying to keep Carzy in check. Baron goes the way of Madeline's Koi, and Vito's just waiting on cooldowns before he can really start to play this. And then Madeline's Koi eventually decides, you know what, we can...
I mean, but the bad of Hilly has always been sometimes you lose games because he's Hylissang. That's what the bad has always been, guys.
I mean, Elio winning the 50-50 is big there. You know, at the end of the day, outside of the Baron, the play was already favoring Mad Lions Koi, but if you'd lost...
Yeah, he's looked really bad in these playoffs.
Overstep for a brief moment, but the instant follow-up is there! Who's getting the comeuppance now? Good damage from Soup on the backline again, uncontested. Oh, hostile takeover gonna connect on the Carzy as he lands, and the clean's already gone. Frescowi
nice ult from the Kaisa.
Carzy at least managing to take Soup out of the equation. Frescowi still in touch. Hylissang running. It's a slaughter in the mid lane. Only VTO left. Cowie instant follow. 50 is big there. You know, at the end of the day, outside of the Baron, the play was already favoring Mad Lions.
Yeah, they think they have an angle here because they just saw Renata and Jace in the top side. But Chain of Corruption hits Photon. He just gets immediately deleted by the lethality and the damage from Brand.
Good damage from Soup on the backline again, uncontested. Oh, hostile.
Good ult from Alvaro over the wall. Yeah, very good killer instinct on the Kaisa.
It's a slaughter in the mid lane. Only VTO left standing. Triple kill for Frescowi.
Nice idea, but they cannot kill Supa. The Alvaro was there. You get the heal from Supa to keep Elyoya alive as well. And Madeline's Koi, what looked like a poor position for them to be in, now suddenly find themselves with a massive advantage in this game.
Definitely do. I mean, think back to earlier in this game, almost 1K hit like 10 minutes for the auction. Mir went unplayable. He was level 1 for the first 5 minutes of the game, but now he's the one with the massive lead. And you see the start of the play here, it looks pretty good, but the follow-up is so delayed from the rest of the team.
Massively so, and even like Cards you can see playing very far back because they just have no vision in that jungle as to where Madeline's Koi are. So the second they see that Madeline's Koi are willing to fight, there's kind of that hesitation there and leaves the opportunity for Madeline's Koi to move members into position.
Thank you, Galactic Amaru, for your Twitch Prime sub. He sold Longsword on Kaisa to complete the Nasher, but he should still, right? But he's also higher level than you would normally... I say that, but Supa's actually higher level than him. But as a mid lane Kaisa, normally you're higher level. So doesn't it mean that if he sold... Because what? Eclipse is 70 AD now? Plus Doran's Blade? I'm going to look at the table. Hold up. At level 13, he needs 72 bonus AD. So that's enough to get him the Q upgrade. So I think it's okay.
You're not finding those windows to push inside lane so you can threaten with video for a one-shot, to work with Photon by stacking in the side lane. Now Madeline's Koi control the map. They're the ones that can get down the vision. They can look for picks onto Hilly again. And he's going to be gone.
Damage. Nowhere for him to go. Bouncing back and forth between he and Elyoya. The shock blast to finish the job.
The actual comeuppance in this game. Oh. Nowhere for him to go. Bouncing for stacking in the side lane. Now Madeline's Koi control the map.
Why is there a pause? Oh, because he didn't get the blast cone?
Onto Hilly again. And he's going to be gone.
Damage.
Yeah.
Nowhere for him to go. Bouncing back.
It's because he didn't get the blast cone.
The shock blast.
The map. They're the ones that can get down the vision. They can look for.
That's quite strange.
In the side lane. Now Madeline's Koi control the map. They're the ones that.
Because he thinks he has a super blast cone.
Get down the vision. They can look for picks onto Hilly again.
Damage. Nowhere for him to go. Bouncing back and forth between he and Elyoya. The shock blast to finish the job.
The actual...
As we get more...
You're like, well, we're going to... That they wanted, trying to rush plays.
On kind of having this huge edge on the top side. The scaling of the Jays delayed. With VTO then on the back a lot of those early fights. Getting really, really strong. But credit to Mad Lions Koi.
Known bug, Chrono Break. Thank you, Medic. You're watching. Welcome back to the LEC, buddy. I hope you had a nice vacation. Known bug? What's the bug? That Chemtech Soul blast cones don't blast?
This is probably just
When
it being
well,
lanes quite far behind.
game check.
Targets very, very quickly, defending whoever's been actually jumped on. There was that one particular fight right in the mid lane between the chicken camp and the mid lane wall, where I want to say it was Elyoya just wasn't dying himself, just kept going back up because of all of the shielding.
If you auto at the outer range of the blast cone against a wall, you can get vertically knocked up. There we go. All right, fair enough.
All the
Is that with all blast cones or just with Chemtech ones?
Spawning
Someone-
And I think you're really looking for either like a great pitch meeting.
just or attack each other.
Medic has come to enjoy our yard holes.
for me,
And they're not offering it.
and I think for world.
Weird.
You're a doctor, Medic. Can you explain the yard hole to us from a medical perspective?
Got all of his silly idioms nailed. Speaking of, Supa gonna nail down some damage here as VTO jumps in, just trying to clear the wave. They at least have the LeBlanc, and with Baron buff now fading away. Vitality's really only avenue here is to play for the Chemtech.
The yard hole is inexplicable. Yeah, I know.
We were speaking, Rob, and we said opposite side of the
Riot's
map
been
is
very
not
cagey
sold
with
for Avalanche,
medical
but it is their
details
first
on
game.
yordles.
But he's going to be not in trouble. Everyone's not going to overcommit for that one.
Yeah, I think they're fine. They just wanted to get the dragon to get in. I think trying to fight in these little chokes is like great for Mad Lions Koi in one aspect where Alvaro can get a lot of volume and you kind of got a lot of opportunities to like look for, hey, if we can play for big wide angles, maybe we can look for a concave on Vitality, but you do just be very careful with video. There's video coming over the wall with 10 stack Dark Seal.
Oh.
Oh, that was so close. That was very unfortunate for Douglas because that could have been the swing that they needed.
Well, probably not, because even if they get that kill, there's no actual objective to take, but kind of a waste of flash. Even if you get the kill, it's just, it's not worth.
10 stack Dark Seal. Oh, that was so close. That was very unfortunate for Douglas.
That could have been. Think of what could have been right there.
If he's smart, he doesn't blow flash right there.
Have Douglas to leap back to, but he's just brought the
And then he
ball
just
with
dies,
him, now
and
they're
you
blazing
don't
away,
actually
and
care
they're
about it.
Probably dead here, Frescowie ults. Hellsang gonna get caught out here. Well, just F to pay respects there. That could have been. Think of what could have been right there. Hellsang gonna get caught out here.
Oh, man.
Leap back to, but he's just brought the brand ult with him, and now they're blazing away, and they're both
Yeah,
probably
it's
dead here,
just-
Frescowie ults. Hellsang gonna
Yeah.
go down first. Douglas now gonna make it out to safety, and you can break
I don't really understand why we're doing any of these things. Like, I don't understand why Douglas is flashing there to stop the recall. I don't understand why we're walking around in the darkness on the side of a map with 4 minutes until the next Drake.
We'll have Douglas to leap back to, but he's just brought the brand ult with him, and now they're blazing away.
Super
and
weird.
they're both probably dead here, Frescowie ults. Hellsang gonna go down first. Douglas now gonna make it out to safety, and you can break as much chrono as you want, but you can't stop Hilly.
Oh, you know what? Some things are just meant to be, regardless of the amount of retakes that you get.
Ah, man, I feel so bad for Vitality. I think this was such a winnable game for them, and it would have been really cool to watch them split push the map well.
To just try and look for some sort of answer. I mean, you can kind of keep this pressure up. There's a question mark here as to whether you just don't.
Yeah, it looks
reset
like
here.
I agree. Meller, I think they were trying to just protect the bot side so they would safely be able to split this and take tier 2.
There's a question mark here as to
It doesn't matter that much, though, again, because you're not having any objectives come up before people are back on the map, but it does cost you vision control on the top side, which is problematic.
Might be able to do it himself. We'll find out.
He's only got 2.5 items, though. I don't really know what this 1v1 looks like on the all-in. I would assume that Akshan is favored. especially with Frescowi not having ultimate, but Photon will linger in the darkness.
Good discipline from Frescowi there as well. Doesn't overcommit for the wave because he's not entirely sure if Photon is there, but either way, he would have set up a really nice slow push on this bottom side that could have then caused pressure onto the tier 2 if Mad Lions Koi come in this fight. So I like the idea there for Frescowi, but Yoya seeking Hilly.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that one. Anyway, bot side, continued push from Photon. Leveraging that stealth as much as possible, just waiting to see if anyone's there to respond. Baron has now been started. Photon does have the TP. Will need to use it if they want to. They know that this is happening. Douglas can just flip it on the 50-50. He lost the last one. And Photon TPing into his team's side of the map. So Mad Lions Koi, recognizing that, can just back away, knowing that they got the TP advantage. Can look to just play side lanes more now in the meantime, knowing that the relative threat of Photon on side is significantly lower. That said, Frescowi, call out here. Chain's going to connect. Flash back. Hillisang debating if he can really follow up. Ulti has been used. Mad Lions Koi in the meantime can pull back to the Baron if they so choose. Vitality really just trying to take control of mid lane. Bit of poke coming in from both Supa and Frescowi.
I was going to say, as long as video is visible, Mad Lions Koi feel a little bit more confident, but Frescowi taking a step too far forward. But the poke from Mad Lions Koi, as you can see, is real. Like, you need to find this engage quick. But instead, they're kind of just letting Mad Lions Koi go back to the Baron, because if you look at bot side, video now has a TP. He's going to be able to kill this structure before he TPs in. So this is where Mad Lions Koi at least will lose a little bit out on the map. But where does he TP to is the next question.
Should be tough. They really have any vision in their back pocket. Hillsang has a single control ward. They could look to take it down, but Inhibitor traded for Baron. That was surprisingly bloodless. Neither side looking to take the fight there. But right now, Vitality are the ones who have gained the immediate value. Yes, Baron's going to give you more gold, but to be honest, having that inhibitor is big for the next Drake. That's a single pressure point that's going to be really difficult for Mad Lions Koi to deal with. They're going to have to burn their entire Baron timer just to make sure that they can.
Because if you look at bot side, video now has a TP. He's going to be able to kill this structure.
So they are trying to actually enact this split push. Thank you, God Body, for your Twitch Prime sub.
Should be tough. They really have any vision in their back pocket. Hillsang has a single control ward. They could look to take it down, but Inhibitor traded for Baron. That was surprisingly bloodless. Neither side looking to take the fight there. Be really difficult.
Yeah, but now all your split push pressure stops. Like, you can't give up Baron with a split push comp, otherwise you can't do shit.
Flash forward from Garzi, determined to get something back, but is a disaster for the Vitality counterpunch here. The rest of the team from Mad Lions,
they're trying to split push into Baron. Okay, well, this is one way to lose the game, I suppose.
Vitality looking to make a counterplay here.
This is one way to lose the game. Photon's just going to push into a tier 2. Remember, they're pushing lanes that have tier 2s into a Baron team. And yes, there are super minions, but you're just not going to be able to deal with this siege. You also are playing into a Baron buff. What a dumb way to lose this game.
Vitality trying to get too tricky. Carzzy doesn't have the resources to turn this one back. The poke now coming in. The feathers fly. The pullback.
Like, Photon just pushed tier 2 for no reason. He's not even here. His base is on fire.
In their first split with 4 rookies, they will secure top 4.
What a strange game.
Winter season. Photon does not have the time, the damage. Mad Lions Koi lock the best of 5s, lock top 4, and knock Vitality out of the winter split.
What should a Vitality have done? Not try to fight them in River repeatedly, or like have Hillisang into River and actually just apply split push pressure to get forward wards in the jungle so you can create picks, right? That's what should have happened, guys. It's hard to run that comp. That is a tough composition to run, but I think they could have done it. I think they could have done it.